everyone. Our subject today is another controversy. It's about adultery or fornication. Adultery or fornication. It's a familiar subject. Adultery or fornication is a term that refers to a sexual relationship between two people, man and woman, without marriage, and is considered such in several religious and actually in several religions, and actually taboo and immoral and not religious, of course. But the practice of adultery varying importance between cultures and society. While there are many people oppose the use of that term and prefer to use the term that is softer, sex outside, which is the sex outside the marital relationship. Alamod. In Judaism, it is forbidden as a commandment in the Torah in Exodus 20, verse 14. It says, "Thou shalt not commit adultery." So straightforward. Consequently, the couple will be killed, always in the Judaism religion. So the couple will be killed, as it's stated in verse 10. And the fruit of this fornication, meaning the bastard child, will not be counted in the congregation of the Lord, not even after 10 generations. It used to be the ruling of such killing by means of stoning, until Jesus came to spread Christianity and abolished the act of stoning with his famous phrase, "Let him who is without sin cast the first stone." It was in the subject of Mary, that community then wanted to stone her, blah, blah, blah. So he said, "Whoever is without sin, let him cast the first stone." So nobody did. In one way, he kind of abolished stoning. This ruling and its abolition were practiced on and off. It wasn't applied in a proper or in 100% manner. Uh, it was practiced on and off and differently in many other religions like Hinduism and Buddhism, etc. The idea behind this is values, of course, and manners and respect and morality, all encompassed in the circle of religion, not without witnesses anyway. Which means it's not for just simply say, "Oh, these people committed adultery," that's it. Not without witnesses. Historically, many cultures considered adultery a very serious crime, some subjected to severe punishment, usually for the woman and sometimes for the man, discriminate, with penalties including capital punishment, mutilation, or torture. Such punishments have gradually fallen into disfavor, especially in Western countries in our modern time, 20th century, or even a little before. In countries where adultery is still criminal offense, punishment range from fines to caning with the cane, and even to capital punishment. Since the 20th century, criminal laws against adultery have become controversial, with most Western countries tolerating it, but some legal consequences resulted from it, like cases of fault-based divorce to alimony to children custody and property settlement, etc. Centuries after Jesus, Islam's message was clear about adultery, as in verse number 32 of Surah 17, which says, "And approach not adultery, verily it is an abomination and vile as a pathway." It's an interdiction somehow, generalized. Don't approach this because it's bad. And explicitly included adultery under the banner of shameful and abomination in another verse, number 33 of Surah 7, which says, "Say," God asking Muhammad, telling him, "Say, the things that my Lord has indeed forbidden are shameful deeds, whether open or secret, sins and trespasses against the truth or reason." Very clear message of adultery came really in verses number 2 and 3 of Surah 24. It says, "The woman and the man, both of them, guilty of each one of them with 100 stripes. Let not compassion move you in their case." Have no mercy on them. Have to be punished. Let no compassion move you in their case, matter prescribed by Allah, which means it's ordained, it's prescribed by Allah. No discussion. If you believe in Allah, that is, if you are truthful, and the last day, if you believe in Allah and if you believe in the last day, and which means if you are a believer in general, and let a party of the believers witness their punishment, and let a group of believers assist to this punishment, so they have a lesson and they spread the word, and that the law will be applied. Let no man guilty of adultery or fornication marry any but a woman similarly guilty, which means in a sense, people who are alike can mate together in that sense, in brief, which means an adulterer should not marry but an adulteress, and vice versa. Or an unbeliever, or even someone, like a man or a woman, that doesn't believe in God's guidance and in this. Nor let any but such a man or an unbeliever marry such a woman. As I said, the vice versa. To the believers, such a thing is forbidden, which means you believers should not approach and do such things like marrying another or an adulterer and so on. These two verses cover in detail everything needed to apply. Unfortunately, differences have yet to take over, because today Muslims still in argumentation about the issue, Some say the stoning still applies. Some say this is abrogated by verse, the one that we just read, which clearly subjected the punishment to the couple, to both of them, substituting, let's say, stoning in an actual statement to 100 stripes of flog. Besides the fact that the present world and social system cannot accept any such capital punishment, whereby the United Nations has a say, conceding to the godly law of flogging directly or indirectly, which is very acceptable socially, worldwide, universally, and so on, to flog instead of stone. Actually, stoning was the old Sharia of Moses, that is, and as we said, Jesus stopped it or abolished it, and then with Muhammad, it was probably confused to be practiced or not until God addressed the issue that adulterer and adulteress should be flogged in public 100 stripes. God may forgive or not forgive on Judgment Day. It's no longer human to impose other than what Allah revealed and advised. I mean, who are we as humans to judge one another in such, let's say, personal things? Only Allah will. So we stop here. That's it. Thank you.